So here we have my kind of testing setup for doing colour testing. Now, as you can see, I've got all of these colours in from the same company, Micamoma. I will leave a description in the link below so you can go and check those guys out. Now, all of these are classified as being soap safe colours, which means they shouldn't discolour within soap, but that can be different for different soap types and different recipes that you use. So what we need to do is we actually need to test these in our soaps to see what colour we're going to get, whether they're soap safe with the recipe that we wish to use, and how they actually kind of come out after saponification. Particularly the reds, I want a really nice red. Oranges, greens can be a little bit funny, and purples can be a little bit funny. So we're going to just try these out to make sure we've got them working. Now, I know that each one of my cavity moulds is going to take around about 68 grams of soap per pot. So what I want to do is I'm going to measure all these things out so that I'm essentially putting around about 3% of each one of these into a pot and then pouring them in there so I can see exactly what my kind of max colour would be using my max amount of mica. So first things first, what we're going to do is just get all of our mica set up. Now this is the oil that I'm going to use for my soap, and because in the UK we have to be very, very careful how we actually use our oils, and we can't add anything else into a recipe. So I'm going to take oil from here to mix each one of these up in our little pots, and we'll get basically a benchmark for our max amount of colour, and we can work back from there on the recipes that we're going to use. So hopefully this will be really helpful for people. So what we'll do, I'll walk you through how I do the first one, and then I'll basically fast forward through the rest of them, and we'll get into actually making our pucks for testing. I've also got here a sheet which I'm going to note down the name of the mica, in which cavity it goes, so I can keep a track of everything that we're doing. Because this is for our actual soaps we're going to start selling, I need to make sure that everything is registered so I know exactly what's happening with everything. We want to put 2 grams of powder into each one of these, mixed with 2 grams of oil. So tear that down. That 1 little percent over we're not going to worry too much about. Close that down. And so we're just going to run through this very quickly, but the reason I'm being so accurate on this is because I really want it to represent the colour I will get if I use that percentage of the mica in my soap. So by being accurate now, I know that when I come to make the soaps later on, they are going to be the right colour, and also if I ever need to reduce the colour down, I've got a good idea of what that colour will look like once I've either reduced the amount of mica that goes into the soap, or I add a white or a grey or something like that into it. Or if I'm using 2 colours to kind of make a secondary colour, I know roughly what kind of colour spectrum they're going to be in and what kind of amounts I need to put in there to get the kind of colours I want. So being accurate at this stage is really important, because what it will do is it will set you up for an easier ride later on when you come to actually start using these in recipes and start to sell the soaps. Okay, so we are within 10 degrees. So we're going to get this going. Pop that into there. And let's just get that going. Lovely. Yep, so we've just got that into a nice emulsion. Hopefully that should stay nice and fluid for the time we need. Bring our little back here. We want 65 grams. Okay, so you can see that was a little bit of a rush, so we've had to kind of chivvy it a little bit along, but you can see there we've got our, we started to tap a little bit quickly. Now that's probably because it was a little bit hot, but it's quite nice to know that my recipe that I'm going to use is going to potentially do that and what I can do with it. But since this is a layered soap and I can do each layer individually, that's probably going to work out to my benefit. There's quite a bit of cocoa butter in there, which is going to help with that, and it was quite warm, so I'm quite happy with that. I can already see that some of these may be better than others. We've got more pinky here rather than a red here, but that could change once they saponify. We've got a couple of greens here. The one that I thought was going to work is probably a bit dark, which is that one, and we may be going with that one because it's a bit brighter. You've got a couple of different purples there. I know which one I'm preferring at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is make up a couple of little extra bits for my orange and my yellow. I'm going to heat my oven up to about the lowest it will go, which is around about, I think, 80 degrees. And then I'm actually going to pop these in the oven for about an hour on that 80 degrees before I then just let it cool down. That's going to force them into gel. They may overheat a little bit, but I want to get that gel going so I can see the true colour of these in a gelled soap rather than in an ungelled soap. And because they're so small, they need that extra help of heat just to get them through gel. So that's what I'm going to do now. Mix a couple more bits for those two colours, then get them all into the oven to gel overnight. We'll come back tomorrow, pop them out, see what we've got. Welcome back, guys. You can see here that we've got our things out of the oven, and they have all saponified. We're all good to go, and you can see we've got a real range of colours, and colours I thought I was going to go with I'm maybe not going to go with, and colours that I'm kind of like, oh, I thought that would be the one, is not the one. So we'll go through them, we'll unmold them all together, and we'll start with these ones. Now red is a real issue in cold process soap making because it can be very hit and miss. and it can go pink rather than being red. And you have to be a little bit wary of what you're going for. Purples, unless they are soap safe, they can be quite difficult to get to work. And greens can often go a funny colour, and they then kind of morph back. Blues can sometimes go green, so you have to be very careful with your blues. Okie dokie, so you can see I've got a little bit of silicone bubbling on this one, but it's absolutely fine. So here we have all of our colours, and you can see there's a real kind of range. So we have terracotta red, rock chick red, red riot, hot purple and blackberry, apple green, tropical green, fluorescent blue, Seville orange and fluorescent yellow. So let's just move these off to the side for a moment and look at our reds. So we have terracotta, rock chick and red riot. Now red riot is the one I would normally go with if I was going to do a red. But looking at this, the terracotta is a bit more orangey. It's kind of a yellowy red, and our rock chick red I think is an absolute stunning colour. So what I tend to do now, hopefully I've got a scribe handy. Bear with me one second while I find my, that'll do me. So what I'm going to do is just pop into these. This is Terra. And this is at 3%. This is my rock chick. At 3%. So for me, I'm thinking actually we can forget the terracotta. That's a bit too orangey, it's a bit too lackluster, not happy really with that one. So we are looking at either our red riot or our rock chick. I like the kind of magentainess of this red. This is a bit more of a natural red. I'm a bit torn between those two. So if anyone out there thinks they prefer one over the other, please let me know, and we'll see which one we go for our batches. We don't now have hot purple. And that's at 3%. And blackberry. So again here we've got two very different colours, both being purple. I think I know which one I prefer, and that's going to be our hot purple. I think it's got a nicer kind of tone to it. It's a bit richer, it's a bit more regal, and I think that's the one we're going to go with. We then have our greens. Now this one is the surprise for me, and I'm not quite sure which one I prefer. Again, this is apple, and this is tropical. And they're both at 3%. Now I've done these at the maximum really I'd be comfortable using, and you can see the vibrancy in these colours. So you don't need very much mica to get a really good colour, and then if you drop these down you're still going to get quite a vibrant colour, but they're going to work. And I'm really not sure which one to go with. I like the apple, but I think tropical has got a little bit more of an edge to me, and if we paired that with say our rock chick, our orange, our yellow, our blue, and our purple. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm really not sure which one of those two to go with. And I think what looks better is our kind of rainbow flag. That's what I'm looking at. So let's pop those over there. And then obviously we've got our fluorescents. Now, fluorescent colours are brilliant to get some absolutely brilliant colours out of. I mean, look at the colours in those. They're absolutely stunning. So this is fluorescent blue and fluorescent yellow. And last but not least, we have to bring in our Seville. So I have got a couple of other colours I want to try out. I've got a fluorescent orange and a fluorescent purple that I want to try, and we'll probably do those in the next couple of batches. But as you can see there, we've got this kind of huge range of colours, and we're just trying to make sure we're using the best possible colours within our soaps. So that's really how I test all of my soaps, to give me a idea of what that maximum percentage is going to be, what colours I'm going to use, and obviously then I can retest these with, say, 50% white and 50% colour, or just half the amount of colour if I know my batch is going to be a nice white batch. So that's really how we test our colours in little pucks like that. These can now go into a box, and then if I ever need to reference back as to what colour I want to use, I've got a puck in that colour, and I can then order in whichever of those colours I really want to use. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And remember, guys, that if you have enjoyed this video, like it, because it really helps me grow. You can also subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe, you can click the bell icon to get notified when a new video is uploaded. And until next time, soapsters, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.